Hey, this is Max. I'm back with another CSR2 video. This time it is still the AMG GTR. I did a tune video on this for supply cup. I'm going to apply the same exact technique to a much more built AMG GTR after the PC cup, supply cup, and having had many Mercedes that I've stripped because they are 3-star T4s that came from my gold key pulls. I have stocked up a nice selection of Fusions and I put them all into this car. So what this ended up being is that I am only missing a stage 6 trans and stage 6 tire on this car with full fusion. What full fusion does is it gets you to this point on the Evo with max Evo tune. I can actually bump that up maybe another point or two by adjusting nitrous to even more optimal points, and that's about 6.3. What that gives you is a 9.529 dyno at 2.31 trans and a 7 tire. Now mind you, this is stage 5. The trans is stage 5, okay, but everything else is stage 6. So it's not a fully max car, but it does have over 1300 Evo. I'll explain later why that's important. With max Evo, this car can still beat dyno slightly with the proper way of driving it, which is simply launching it perfect and using nitrous as you go into second. I didn't shift too well there, but I suspect the car will do fine. Now I didn't even shift into 7th. You could run 6 out the door, and that's where you can get a nice run out of the car. You could also shift into 7th, which will give you another mile per hour or two. That may actually help you beat dyno. But once again, very close to what dyno is. I did a 9.53. Okay, so that doesn't get you a lot of wins in live. Okay, when a car runs exactly on dyno, it is not totally worthless in live, but it is not going to be super competitive in live. What most of the good cars can do is beat dyno by at least a tenth or two, sometimes more. The beauty of this car is that it can actually beat dyno by way more than that. The downside to this is the Evo drop when you make this tune based on grip go down is pretty huge. Okay, 300 plus point drop. That's painful, and in some level of build, when you don't have as much fusion, I have seen as big a drop as 500 points on this car. 500 point of Evo drop can take you from barely 1,000 down to 500 or less. Anything running less than 1,000 Evo with this kind of tune going into live will make lousy RP, and that's not something I'm interested in. So my goal is always to tune the car to beat dyno, but maintaining at least that. The only way to do that, of course, is through trying to fit as many fusions into the car as possible. If your car's short on fusions, you're not going to make this point. It's going to be at 700, 600, or even on my other account with a new account where I have many less fusions, my car with this tune would only manage a plus 250 Evo. Not very good for making RP. However, it is still good for beating people in live, so it depends on what your goal is for usage. My goal is always to use a lobby control car that I can control the lobby wins and losses as needed, but yet normally I trade. So that's how I prefer to do it. But this is how you get this tune. It's literally a cross point where your final drive power ratio and the tire grip triggers a drop in Evo by about 300 points or more. And this can be done in various points, meaning if I raise it to here, it's going to be much harder to get this drop. You may even put it to 0 with, you may even be able to put it to 0 without a drop. Okay, see how even at 0 it doesn't drop. But if you put it down to say 4.6, let's try 3.7. Oh, there it is. You got it. So that'll give you the drop. But notice this is a little different. The dyno time is a little different, and you will run a little different. But if you get it up to the trigger point of here, you'll see what it could potentially run. So this comes down to really where you want to do it. You want to put it here, or you want to put it where I had it at 6. If you put it at 6, the final gear ratio goes down a bit to get the same effect. So it's really flexible in that sense. Okay, that's why I like this car. It basically has a crisscross point that can be moved around depending on how you prefer to have your shifting and how aggressive you want the car to down tune. But regardless, it down tunes by about a good 5/10, if not more. So we had a 10.2 dyno. Let me see if I can run a 9.5 off of that 10.2 dyno. And this is why this car is a keeper. It is a good car to build and continue to throw your fusions into. Okay, that's a very massive difference between 10.2 and what you can run. Word of advice, do not run this car under 10 a lot, because if you run 9.5 in a 10.2 lobby more than a few times and winning, you will quickly move to the 9.9 lobby first of all, and not long after that you'll move to the 9.7 lobby or 9.5 lobby. If you end up in the 9.5 lobby winning still, you will then be pushed into an even quicker lobby where you really can't win. And if you ever set the car back to its original full Evo setting, you will now be running against cars running at least 1 second faster. So don't get greedy. You can control the run by simply not upshifting, which will keep you in the 10-second lobby very easily, allow you to trade effectively with control, and not get you in trouble as easily. I mean, you still get bumped up eventually, but you won't get bumped up as quick. So you basically do something like this, which will put you right at the 9.9 second mark. Okay, so if you have the good fortune of either having one of these cars for milestone like I did, or have pulled it this season and have built it up and gotten it close to max, or at least well built enough that you can get over 1,000 Evo, my suggestion is hold on to it, use it in live, and have some fun knowing that your car could and would dominate if you choose to do so. The game is not dumb. It'll pick up on what you've done. Eventually you'll get moved if you don't give up wins. And if you're a milestone crew guy, I would suggest you trade. The other benefit of trading is you'll make this a lot quicker. The money will kind of roll as you trade. You don't even look at it, but it keeps coming in quickly. It's certainly much quicker than if you try to do regulations over and over again. Plus, you'll be making RP. So, my ultimate evaluation of the AMG GTR is it's a keeper. Life after PC Cup is not going to be in the back garage collecting dust for this car, at least for me. But if you liked the video, leave a like. Feel free to comment, ask questions. I'm always happy to try to answer them. And I hope that this video was helpful to you and help you enjoy the game more as you progress. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.